Alright guys, welcome back to this big announcement here. The new selection pack finally has been released basically, or the info for that has been released. We will receive this on Thursday. Obviously we will stream and I will tell you everything about the upcoming archetypes, guide videos and so on and so forth. You know it already. We had no information on this selection pack up until now, but we were expecting the Fiend Smith stuff, and here it is, Fiend Smith Engraver. I was also predicting the Exodia stuff for an anime related theme in the new pack, and here it is. And then we have some really surprising cards, honestly, which I wasn't expecting. We have the LZ Aamina of the White Forest, which is the combination of the Aamina and the White Forest archetype. And we have the Aamina Mo Regina, which, and I will talk about this in more depth in a second here, is one of the later Aamina cards. Aamina also a very strong engine, not as game defining as Fiend Smith will be. I will also make a separate video tomorrow where I will talk about the Fiend Smith engine and explain to you why this is so great, so strong, and basically every deck can use this and what this will do to the game of Master Duel. This comes at 2 at the beginning. It makes sense. Some hit here for the engine since it is so strong, but that's okay. We have it at 2. This is a bit less consistent now. OCG has it at 1, way worse, but this is fine, so we can still play this. And we're also getting a structure deck, Heroes Union cards here. Very nice hero structure deck, but honestly, the cards that I'm seeing here, I guess the Vian and the Pharos are actually quite nice. Stratos would also have been really cool. I guess this makes Heroes way cheaper now that I think about it, because you are playing I think triple Vian and I think triple Pharos, if I am not incorrect here. Let me know if this is correct or not. And Sunrise, you also need one of this, and then you also need one Hero Shining Near's Wingman. So this seems to be a very good structure deck, honestly, now that I think about it a second time. We also have the Snake Eyes Doom Dragon here, which is also a newer card, but definitely the card out of these 5 here that is the least important one. You will not really see this. This will not really be played. But okay, let's hop right on over and look at the archetypes here, card by card. We have the Fiend Smith stuff. Fiend Smith is coming in. The first thing that I was wondering about, and I just went to Master Duel and counted the cards, is how many new cards are we getting on average in a new selection pack? And it turns out it's around 40. Because the Fiend Smith engine, if we get the entire one, it's quite a lot of cards, 12 cards to be exact. The Aamina engine would also be 12. And then we have the Exodia, which is around 8 or something. So we could get the entire engine of all of these 3 new archetypes here. We will have to see whether that is the case. I hope we get the first and second Fiend Smith wave here. This is the third one, Fiend Smith Kyria and Fiend Smith Rex Tremende, which has just been released in the TCG. But these are 2 cards that have not really been played either in the OCG nor in the TCG. So the 10 cards that are really impactful are these ones, minus the Fiend Smith Sanct. You don't really play this card, so this doesn't really matter. And the Lacrima is already forbidden in the TCG. So TCG hit the Lacrima, OCG hit the Tract and the Engraver. We will get everything here unlimited, hopefully. So the first wave would be everything you see here, minus Curie, minus Rex Tremende, and then minus the Lacrima, the Crimson Tier, and minus Fiend Smith Agnum Day. Not having the Agnum Day is okay. It is a very good card, but the Fiend Smith Lacrima is definitely the card that you want to have from the second support wave. This completes the engine basically, but it would still be fine if we just got these cards here. Then we obviously also have Moon of the Closed Heaven already in the game. If you have not picked up your copy of Moon in Master Duel, go ahead and do that. This is your way of turning every deck into Fiend Smith engine basically. And then it's very interesting to see whether we will see the Necro Crypt Princess, which is a TCG exclusive, a very important card for the Fiend Smith engine, and also the I think it's called Aerial Eater. These were the 2 TCG exclusives that work together well with the Fiend Smith engine. This one would be important for Jubel, but we will see whether we will receive them. And then we will get the Aamina cards, at least it seems to be the case, and we are getting the LZ, which has just been released in the TCG together with these cards here, Queen Aamina, Saint Aamina, and the Aamina Aphes, and some of the other cards. So this one has not been released in the TCG right now, the Aamina. But as we are getting a card that is, I guess, later, I'm also expecting the other Aamina cards, and we might get all of the new cards minus this one here, obviously, the Aamina. And then you can combine this with Snake Eyes, with Fiend Smith. You can play Aamina, Snake Eyes, Fiend Smith. Obviously, we'll go to make guides on everything here, but you can also combine this, and I think this is way more interesting for a lot of people, combine this with the White Forest stuff. We have the White Forest stuff already in the game. This is a card card that brings together these two engines here. This is an insane card. We can quickly read this if you're not aware. You can reveal this card from your hand, special summon one White Forest or Aamina monster from your hand. Very strong. You will normally always special a White Forest one, or you will special herself, which is also possible. And then during your main phase, you can fusion summon one Aamina fusion monster from your extra deck using hand or field. As you can see here, they have a lot of fusion monsters. This, for example, is an Omni Negate. We have the Moa Regina, which we have already seen as an Ultra, which if another Aamina monster is activated, for example, the Omni Negate can destroy up to 2 cards on the field. Then we have the Mu Rishialago, which can grab us Sinful Spoils or an Aamina card, bridging us into the Diabellstar Sinful Spoils engine. Very interesting. And the third effect, I mean, this is already enough, but if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, this is the White Forest part basically, you can add one Sinful Spoils card from your deck to your hand. So this bridges you from your White Forest engine into your Sinful Spoils Aamina engine, which is just insane. So the Aamina cards, we will probably get them all, the most important one being the Hallowed Aamina, but there's also new White Forest stuff, and we will have to see whether we get these cards here. As you can see, they basically have been released together with the Aamina ones, and not that many. These would be the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. So these are the 3 archetypes combining together: Aamina, Sinful Spoils, and White Forest here. Very interesting. Beware of the White Forest, and then there are cards that have not been released in the OCG right now. So as you can see, we are getting even more support for these 2 archetypes, Aamina, White Forest, Sinful Spoils, because it's basically their thematic year, if you want to call it that. So yeah, I'm very interested in seeing whether we will get all of these new cards. I would think so, honestly, and then we can really play an insanely cool deck where you can use your Aamina cards, your Aamina cards, your White Forest cards, and if you want to, you can also put in some Sinful Spoils cards. This will be very interesting. So we are not only going to see the old decks become stronger again with the Snake Eyes, with the Duel and all the Fiend Smith stuff, which you can basically put in every deck if you really want to. Not in everyone, but nearly everyone. And we will get the Aamina stuff here, and most probably also the White Forest stuff. And then we also have the Exodia Millennium stuff here. So this is the Golem, the Shield, and the Sengajin. So reprints basically. We are getting the Veiju Temple as well as the Millennium Ankh. And then the boss monster, which is this new Exodia fusion monster, which is actually not that bad. Has 2 spells, or 1 spell and 1 trap accompanying it. The Exodia Unstoppable Incarnate cannot be destroyed by an opponent's card effect once per turn if this card battles. During damage calculation, you can make this card gain attack equal to your life points. Once per turn, when a spell trap or effect is activated, you can negate the activation, so an activation negate of a spell trap. And then during the end phase, you can set 1 Exort or 1 Obliterate. Exort would be this one that clears the entire field, blows up the entire board of your opponent, if you control the Unstoppable Exodia, that is, or the Obliterate Blaze, which if you have the Exodia online, you can pay half your life burns, destroy all the spells and traps in the spell and trap zone of you and your opponent, and then you can set the 5 pieces of the Forbidden One and equip them to your Unstoppable Exodia Incarnate, and it will get a push of 2000 attack for every part equipped to it, basically. So you can use this one to kill your opponent and this one to blow up the entire board, basically. So a very fun deck, and out of the anime decks, definitely one of the stronger ones. So very interesting pack here. Seems to be high impactful, depending on whether we will all get all of these cards, all of the accompanying cards. I think we will, honestly. Yeah, so very interesting here. Maybe we will see even more Ultra Rares, more than 13. I don't know. I'm super hyped for this. This will definitely change up the meta quite a bit. Save your gems. I hope you have saved your gems up until this point. If not, then you have not really listened to me and all the other content creators telling you to save up the gems for the big anniversary pack, which is this one here. You will probably also get a few resources for the anniversary, and don't forget to decraft your Maxi and your Sengen Cayman if you still have them. But now it's time for you to let me know what you think of this. Are you excited? What are you most excited for? What are you maybe dreading? Because you have to be aware that Snake Eyes is going to be back, not because of Snake Eyes Doom Dragon, which you will never ever play, but because you can play them now with Fiend Smith and also with the Aamina stuff if you wanted to. I guess we will see whether a pure Fiend Smith Snake Eyes thing or a combination out of all of these 3 archetypes will be better. But yeah, Snake Eyes is back. This is, I guess, the only unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. It will not stay for that long, I think. Snake Eyes is definitely something that will be hit, and then we will keep the Fiend Smith stuff, which is just an insanely cool engine contribution. Very, very good for the game, very healthy. And why this is very healthy, I will show you in the video tomorrow. But now let me know in the comments what you think. I'm very interesting. Thanks for being here. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell. As I already said, we will see each other on Thursday live streaming. I will make videos concerning all of these decks over the next few days, all of the new stuff. So stay tuned, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to not miss anything. Thanks for being here, and we will see each other tomorrow.